So yes, so today we're going to be sharing some helpful tips, or Swapna is going to be sharing some helpful tips about M365, how you can make the most of out of your subscription. Without any further ado, I'll hand the time over to Swapna.
Thank you, Keisha, and thank you, Valerie. I'm just taking the presentation over. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you've got a cup of coffee or a cup of tea with you. And we've got an interesting hour ahead with lots to show you in terms of use of Microsoft 365 apps and how they can be used. A little bit about us. We are a company called EduConnect, and we partner with CRT Insights as well as Microsoft. We're an adoption partner, as they call us, and we help users adopt Microsoft 365 technology for end users. We are ProSci certified and Microsoft Global Training Partner. So my name is Swapna, and I'm here from EduConnect, and our webinar for this afternoon is going to be Microsoft Do More with Less. So we have a great session planned for you today, covering quite a bit in the next 60 minutes. And that's why I said, I hope you've got a cup of coffee to keep you going. You will get to hear about the challenges that our businesses are facing today in the area of cost savings, collaboration, security, and mobile device management. We'll then dive into a demo experience. So the one thing I definitely don't do is death by PowerPoint. You'll have a little bit of PowerPoint slides that we've got to go through, but after that, we're going to do lots of live demos, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions in terms of challenges that you're currently facing with use of Microsoft 365 within your organizations. So with a quick, maybe a smiley or a thumbs up, let me know if you currently have Microsoft 365 license within your organization. So are you using Microsoft 365? One? Yes? Okay, good. We've got a couple of users in here. And the others, any Google users here? Give a thumbs up. Okay, no worries. So we've got a few of the Google users as well. Great. Okay, thank you. So you're probably looking at what is it that Microsoft 365 can offer, especially if you're using Google. If you currently have Microsoft 365, it may be, I assume, the business standard, or it may be the business premium account that you've got, but you probably aren't using everything or the facilities that you get along with it. So let's get started. In today's session, we'll be looking at how you can use Microsoft 365 products and solutions. We'll have a quick look, and I say a quick look because obviously the business premium needs a lot more time. So we'll have a quick look at Microsoft 365 Business Premium Solutions, specifically in the areas of device management, Microsoft Intune, safeguarding your business data with Defender for Business, which is a very critical factor, and of course, data loss prevention and data classification in the current regime of hybrid work scenarios where you're working partially from home and from work. So a few slides to go through. We basically say that people are generally problem solvers. They invent new things, they improve old things. They imagine the future and then find ways to make it so. And in the context of business productivity, the pandemic, I know it's long gone now, but has definitely reminded us of two main things. One, people are amazingly resilient. We can adapt to changing circumstances and we make all the difference. And two, you definitely can't increase people productivity by treating them like machines. So when it comes to people, more work definitely isn't equal to more output. At the end of the day, people are the driving force behind business progress in every organization. As we currently continue adapting to the new normal, one thing is clear, life as we knew it before the pandemic will not return. You still have users who would want to work from home, they now know that they can work from home, and you want to offer that flexibility. Imagine the cost savings you could have if you could have a smaller office, but secure working environment for all your employees from working from home. Microsoft's research shows that employees want best of both worlds. Over 70% of workers want flexible remote work options to continue, and 66% of business decision makers are planning to redesign spaces to accommodate hybrid work options. This new normal has demonstrated that in order to thrive, businesses need to keep investing in developing capabilities in key 3 areas. 1, real-time collaboration. 2, security, because you really don't want people taking your data back home and storing it on unsecure devices. 3, solutions that help you save costs. This holds true to every business that we work with on day-to-day basis, as well as internally as a small business ourselves. So a little bit about us. We are a small and medium business. We have been running our business on Microsoft 365 solutions for the past 8+ years. And we've always had work from home solutions even prior to COVID. So in fact, when COVID came, it was a breeze for us, and we were extremely busy because we had our trainings to deliver. And at the end of the day, as a training organization, our IP is our security, right? So we don't want to lose our IP with our trainers. And we do bring in new trainers from time to time. So how did we solve that? It was through the use of Microsoft 365 business solutions and making sure that the devices and the security was inbuilt. Old legacy and on-premise solutions don't really solve those challenges. Neither do mixed vendor environments, as they add complexity. Again, a quick one to think about. How many of you have maybe Google plus Salesforce plus Zoom plus probably another solution for a CRM or a storage solution or backup solution that you're using? So you're probably paying for each of these licenses separately. What's required is a comprehensive integrated solution that will help businesses and partners collaborate, be secure, and save costs. So introducing Microsoft 365. For those of you already using it, well done, but we'll ask you a few more questions as we go along. For those of you new to it, what is Microsoft 365? With M365, as we call it, you get Office 365, which is all your favorite applications, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, Forms, and more, along with world and best class security, all imbibed into one license. So you have Microsoft Teams, which combines chats, calls, meetings, apps, everything into one productivity tool experience. So what I'm doing right now is sharing my slides with you. And of course, you've got a private view if you'd like to go through the slides ahead. I've kept that open at present, but you can always come back to speaker slides whenever you'd like. So many of you would be very familiar with Word, Excel, PowerPoint. I know you may be using Google Docs, Sheets, and more that help you and your team be creative and work together. With Microsoft Office web and mobile apps, they help you keep organized, connected, and stay productive on any browser and any device. In fact, the intelligence is infused across apps, enabling you to create in new ways and automate time-consuming tasks and work, enabling new efficiencies. So what we're going to look at today, we're going to have a look at some things built in Outlook. We're going to have a look at some cool features within PowerPoint, Teams as an all-in-one platform. We're going to look at collaboration with Excel, and we're going to look at Power Automate along with the security features and demos after that. So I guess we've got Google users, we've got Microsoft users. So I can safely assume that everyone knows about cloud storage, right? Heard about cloud storage. It's a simple way to describe an online space for your entire organization where every individual has a cloud disk that they can use, save their files on the internet, and virtually save with anyone, anywhere, with inbuilt security. So you know exactly with whom you're sharing it, or rather the business owners and administrators know with whom you're sharing it and can identify risks in case there's any case of data leakage. So usually when you're selecting cloud storage service, some of the common concerns may be security, lowering IT costs, because you definitely don't want to increase those, how information can be recovered in case of disaster, compliance, and so on. So with OneDrive in Microsoft 365, your files are stored securely in the cloud. Think of OneDrive as your personal drive or personal space, network space in the cloud. With the M365 Business Premium license, you get up to 5 terabytes of storage per user. And Valerie and Keisha can correct me if there's anything additional there. So OneDrive is Microsoft's cloud storage that connects you to all your files and with all your, which can be shared within your organization or outside your organization. It lets you store, protect your files, share them with others, and access them from any device. All files that you store in OneDrive are private unless and until you decide to share them with any individuals, which means that as an individual, you have the control permissions to your files and folders that are created in the cloud. Microsoft 365 also is a secure, cost-effective, and reliable cloud solution for real-time collaboration and secure work from virtually anywhere. How many Teams users do we have? Little thumbs up. Ooh, no thumbs up? No Teams users? Okay, thank you, Keisha. All right, yes, thank you. Somebody who loves Teams. Absolutely. So I am an avid Teams user, and I can't imagine working with my internal or my external customers without Teams. So Teams, along with the familiar Office apps and advanced security option, actually is all-in-one productive solution that is what is required. So with Microsoft 365, it brings together multiple solutions into one integrated experience that makes hybrid work easier and smarter for employees. By consolidating, you will not only benefit from a simpler IT environment, but you can save more than 60% compared to a patchwork of competitive solutions. And you can speak to Keisha or with Valerie, who can provide you with a lot more details based on what's the spending that you're doing currently versus the cost savings with Microsoft 365. So in today's session, we're going to look at the security and compliance features as well, along with probably showing you some features that you can use pretty much at the end of the session. So just a few more slides. Many small businesses were already exposed to security risks before COVID-19. I mean, that was a fact. However, now with working from home, we know that employees are using a wide range of free and consumer solutions that are highly questionable in security. Files and folders being saved, automatically dropped on WhatsApp and more, or personal Google. If you're using Google G Suite with security, okay, but if you're using Google, it's personal Google, again, where's the security there, right? They're accessing business data from home devices that are not really protected. Confronted with even more phishing attacks with COVID-19 specific lures. And as we work, or rather as the ways we work are changing, security threats are also evolving. There is far more sophistication in the way bad actors attack, and the frequency of attacks is greater. We all know that there are 4 key types of security threats to be aware of: malware, viruses that can be easily downloaded, phishing attacks, phishing threats, and ransom attacks. Overall, the situation is ripe for mistakes and attacks. Simple emails with links that come to you, open it up, and there you are. Which is why so many business owners, exactly like you, are really getting serious about security with IT. So some fun stuff. We know that passwords act like keys used to access accounts. We know that our passwords need to be secure. We know that our passwords need to be highly complicated and protected. We know that there are security barriers so that accounts can be protected. With time, it has been found that password, in fact, can be the weakest link in the security chain. In an attempt to minimize password theft, organizations encourage the use of strong, complex passwords and require users to frequently change their passwords. So let's say my password is, I don't know, I love Lucy. I think it's very complicated password enough. And every 90 days, my company says, change, add an extra letter in there, or add one of the marks, different letters. So what do? I love Lucy and I add an exclamation mark. You need to add a number. What do? I add the number 1. Did you know that exclamation mark and 1 are the most commonly used signs for any password? Because to make it easy for you to remember your password, it's the same thing that the hackers have understood as well. So quite often, this results in poor user behavior. People start to use easy to guess changes simply to their password. Windows Hello. I'm sure many of you would be using Windows devices. Anyone here using Windows Hello instead of passwords? No? Okay. Windows Hello is built into your PC and offers a faster sign-in experience, exactly as your face cam does. It lets you sign into your devices, apps, and online services using your face, iris, fingerprint, or a PIN. And the information identifies your face, iris, or fingerprint, and it never leaves your device. So above all, biometric authentication uniquely and securely identifies users. Anyone here using the Authenticator app? Okay, little thumbs up. Yes, Keisha, well done. Mallory, anyone else? Microsoft Authenticator is a free app available on your Android and your iOS smartphone. The Authenticator app allows you to authenticate your work account, Microsoft account, or your Azure Active Directory account. And remember that you can use this even for your personal email. So the Authenticator is one app that can be used across for your personal as well as your work accounts. Instead of using a password, you confirm your identity using your mobile phone through fingerprint, facial scan, iris, and more. And it's built on secure technology, very similar to Windows Hello does. And the tool is packaged into a simple app that can be used on mobile. I highly encourage you to use the Authenticator app on your iOS or Play Store. Simply go in, look for Microsoft Authenticator. By the way, please make sure that the Authenticator it's Microsoft Authenticator and not just Authenticator. I think there are many people phishing, and it's a free app. You do not need to pay anything for this. It's free to download. Next. So we've spoken about Microsoft 365. I think by now you've realized secure, secure, secure. Yes, you've got that. Okay. Then you've realized that passwords, what do you need? Windows Hello or you need Authenticator. Now we're moving towards a bit more of security. So real security and what's required. We know that admins need to protect organization data, manage user access, and support users from anywhere where they work. To help with all these activities on any device that you've got, there is Microsoft Intune, or it's called as Microsoft Endpoint. A very quick glance of what Intune can do. Intune is pre-built in with Microsoft 365 Business Premium license. It's a cloud-based endpoint management solution, and it manages user access, simplifies app and device management across many devices, including mobile, devices, desktop computers, and virtual endpoints. As an IT admin, you must ensure that managed devices are providing resources that your users need to do their work, at the same time protecting that data from risk. So when a device gets lost or stolen, or when it needs to be replaced, or when users move to another position, it's usually time to retire or wipe the device. And there are a number of ways you can do it. Reset the device, removing it from management, or wiping the corporate data on it. So we'll show you with Intune, with a few clicks, how you can simply reset the device sitting at the desk for IT admin, and how easy it is to actually use endpoint management. Next, Microsoft Defender. Again, Defender is built in with the Business Premium license, and there are 3 steps that come when it comes to security. 1, you first need to detect the risk. 2, you need to investigate the attack. And 3, you need to take steps to prevent any harmful activities. Imagine a scenario. There has been an email sent authentically, it looks like from your boss, with an attachment. You're checking it on your phone. You happen to open it, and it's actually an attack. What do you do in that case scenario? It's a virus attack. It's attacked your device. But remember that it's not just attacked your device. If it's on your network, it could actually spread over. So with Microsoft 365 Defender, it takes these steps automatically, which will help detect the risk, investigate the attack, and take steps to prevent any harmful activities from actually spreading over. There are many Defender solutions that are available, such as there's Defender for Endpoint, Defender for Office 365, Defender for Identity, or Microsoft Data Loss Prevention. And the overall solution is called as Microsoft Purview, which comes together. So let's take a quick minute on Defender. It safeguards your organizations against any malicious threats posed by emails, links, and collaboration tools. And with Defender, your organization's security team can configure protection by defining policies in the Defender portal. Example, things such as even credit card leakage or PDPA leakage and more. And it natively coordinates detection, prevention, investigation, and response across endpoints, identities, email, and application to provide integrated protection against any kind of sophisticated attacks. And the last one is going to be on data loss. As I mentioned, we are an organization that runs on IP, as is any of your organization. You really can't afford to lose your IP by anyone adding a hard disk and removing data off, or anyone leaving the organization and taking data from your organization, right? So as small and medium organizations, we have sensitive information under our control, such as financial data, proprietary data, credit card numbers, NRIC, passports, and more. And we do know our government's we've got strict PDPA policies to follow. So in order to prevent the sensitive data from ever being leaked or being inappropriately used or shared, there is something known as data loss prevention. And data loss prevention, or DLP as it's called, involves a set of processes and technologies that ensure that data is not lost, misused, or accessed by any unauthorized users within your organization or externally. So DLP, 2 concepts that form the core of a strong foundation for an effective data loss prevention strategy. 1, sensitive data discovery and data classification. You cannot safeguard information that you're unaware of, and this is where data discovery comes into play. Furthermore, sensitive data can mean a lot of things to different people. So creating standards for how your organization classifies sensitive data and then applying those classifications to data gives everyone the same standards to follow. There's less confusion about what needs to be handled with greater precaution, and it's easier for all departments to work together to prevent any kind of data loss. Basically, the way it works is that policies are pre-built in, and you'll see from my demo that if it's an unauthorized user, because it's pre-set up, it doesn't matter if it's a new intern who's trying to send that data, it'll just not go to the person because he or she is unauthorized. So with that, in case I've lost you or you've gotten back into work, get ready for some demos. So I hope you can come back. What we've covered through the slides is about Microsoft 365 productivity tools. We looked at security in terms of logging in, passwordless protection, and more. We looked at Intune for your device management. We spoke about Defender. And then finally, we spoke about data loss prevention. And these are all the 5 or 6 areas that you'll see in the live demos. So just getting started. All right. So what you can see right now is the Microsoft 365 or Office 365 dashboard. So when I click on Explore all your apps, it looks something like this, where I can see all the Microsoft 365 applications that are anything from your administrator access, which is only for admin, of course. But imagine you've got bookings to simplify how you schedule and manage appointments. If you've got a third-party tool, don't need that included in the license. Calendar, no one can do without a calendar now. Let's be honest. Calendar pre-built in there. Compliance for legal, regulatory, and technical standards and security pre-built in. Excel, can't do without. Word, PowerPoint, we all know that. But what are the other tools that are included? Microsoft Forms. You can generate up to 2 million responses on Microsoft Forms alone now. Are you using SurveyMonkey? Are you using some other survey gathering tool? Are you paying money for that? Think about it. You don't really need to. You've got something called Microsoft Lists, which allow users to create, share, and track data inside lists and automate that feature. Again, a mini CRM kind of thing built in. Your OneDrive, the personal storage space, right? Pre-built into the cloud. SharePoint is actually your network drive pre-built into the cloud, or you can use it to create and manage content and knowledge. SharePoint is great for your intranet build, and that can connect to all these different apps as well. Some other things that we will go through are going to be Power Automate, how you can sync files and simplify or automate your work tasks. We're also going to look at collaboration tools with Word, Excel, and PowerPoint as we go through. And I'll show you a little bit about Teams and how that can be used before I get into the security features. So this kind of comprises the whole set of applications that come with your Microsoft 365 apps. So who's very good at scanning QR codes? Get your phone ready. And here's the first session. So remember that I started my presentation, and when I was presenting, I presented it in Teams because it was a slideshow and I had some notes that I wanted to go through. But imagine a situation where I need to present the same presentation, but I have audiences from Indonesia, Vietnam, Sri Lanka, and Philippines, and not everyone speaks English. I now need each one of you to actually have a different language, right? So I go into Microsoft PowerPoint, and there is this feature called Present Live. With Present Live, you can either set it for only people within the organization. Then when you share it, it's only within your organization who can log in, or anyone, which is the case I'm going to do now because I want everyone in here. So let's go to Present Live. So get your QR codes ready, please. And you can scan the QR code as soon as it comes. Give it 10 seconds. Right, there you are. And if Bina, you can help me put the link in the chat as well. Thank you. Yes, so we've got users who've joined in. And those of you who've joined in, what you would find on your mobile phone is that it's giving you a transcription at the bottom of everything that I speak. But on your left-hand side, can you see that there's English? You can change language and maybe try Malay, try simplified Chinese, try German if you understand German, or Greek. There are 52 languages that can be translated into. In fact, this particular presentation and this particular feature has been highly appreciated by our Parliament and MPs as well, and has been used for inclusivity when it comes to presenting to multiple people. The next, so I've got 11 people who've joined, and I'm going to start my slides now. It's okay. Moving ahead, I'm presenting on Microsoft Do More with Less. What else do you find on your presentation as you go along? Do you see a little smiley in there on the right-hand side? Give me a little smiley in terms of whether you like this feature. What this particular one does is that as I move from slide to slide, I will get a report at the end of my presentation that will tell me how many likes or what were the reactions I got against each of my slides. So imagine the situation now. Let's say I've got majority of my audience who may speak in English or maybe Chinese for that matter. I can change the subtitles here to simplified Chinese. At the same time, my other audiences who may be Malay, Tamil, I don't know, Indonesian, Vietnamese, and more, may want different languages. So that's where I use PowerPoint Present Live. And I urge you to try this out for everyone who's got Microsoft 365. And you don't have it, get back to Valerie and she can help you with that. So that's my first demo, Present Live from Microsoft 365 under your PowerPoint, something that everyone uses. I'm now going to end the presentation, so which will end the session on your mobile phone in about 30 seconds. And when it ends, it automatically sends a feedback form to you that you can fill out, and I'll get a notification of the feedback against that presentation as well. So try out the Present Live along with the subtitle feature, which tells you there are about 52 subtitle languages that can be used. So check this out. Let's go into the next demo. Excel. I guess everyone loves Excel, right? And we all use it. Now, first case scenario is that I have an Excel spreadsheet that my boss has given me. Very good. And he's told me that there's the first name and last name, and Swapna, I need you to now convert it to full name, initials, and I need to actually have their email address with just the initials and the company's email. So in this case scenario, I've got the users here, about 50 of them. I've just put the first person's first name, which is John Wayne. I'll just make it slightly bigger, right? I've got the initials and I've got the email. I go into the second sheet. So once I've filled John Wayne, I go into the second row. I click on data and I have this option called flash fill. The moment I click flash fill, imagine within a second, I've got all my 50 or 500 rows for that matter, filled in with the first and last name. This also automatically now prompts you, because a lot of people don't know how to use flash fill. So Excel has automatically started prompting you. If you're using a similar pattern, it will fill up the rest of the details for you. Next, initials, again, flash fill. And okay, so I'm just going to do this again, JW, flash fill. AN, so I'll fill in a few, know exactly where, and there you are. So I filled in for first three and I've got the initials already in there. In the case of where I've got Heidi Lotan, and if it's an hyphenated, so there they've already put H low T. So you can then rectify if required with multiple names in there. The next is about email, and the same thing, it's the initials with email. So I'm going to do flash fill, and there you are. It's filled in my entire spreadsheet within seconds. I've got my time. I'm going to go and get a coffee now. Another interesting one is something known as geography. Many times you've been asked to do a lot of research, and yes, our favorite is to go to Google, do the research and more. So I've got countries that my managers told me to do some basic research on and find out information. In this case, I've got our ASEAN countries listed here. I click on data and I have this thing called stocks, currencies, and geographies. So I just click on geography and it will automatically convert this thing into something called as geography. When you then click on this little plus icon that comes up, what do you get? You can know the area for each country. So let's just highlight all of them. And I want the area for each of the countries. I also want the CPI index. I want the, let's go, gross largest city and market cap. I've got the official name, the language, population, revenue, unemployment rate, urban population, and a lot more. So there you are. You can actually get your spreadsheet filled in with a whole range of geography or currency information that's built in here. So check that out. Moving on. So there's a lot more with Excel that you can do. The other one, last one, is something known as ideas. So within Excel now, and if you've got a massive spreadsheet, there's something known as analyze data. So rather than you creating your pivot tables and more, clicking on analyze data will give you, give it a second. Will actually give you questions. Excel will automatically analyze the data for you and tell you what's the percentage of student names. What is it? Is it your trainer names? It'll give you charts related to that data. It can insert a pivot report and a lot more. You can simply ask questions about your data and it'll be able to give you the answers. So check out, especially when you have a large spreadsheet that's just been thrown at you, check out analyze data to say what does Excel actually talk about it. And of course, then at the end of the day, it's human factor. You can go in and read the data and do work a lot more on that. So that's just a couple of things with Excel. You want to learn a lot more, you know when to reach out. Another one, and again, get ready for some live collaboration. So I've got this Excel spreadsheet, and again, boss has told me marketing analysis, and there's a group data, okay? And it's all of us as participants that need to fill it. So I'm going to share this because it's saved on my OneDrive. And again, when I share it, I have security permissions. At present, because we are all from different organizations, I'll have it as anyone. But obviously, when within your organization, you will prevent it and it will only be within your company or for people who choose. I can also set a password and I can set up a date. So I will say that it expires by tomorrow. So any link that I've shared will expire by tomorrow. I can also block downloads. So I can say that you can't download the data. Apply. I copy this. And in our Teams chat, if you're in here. By the way, if you've got any questions, keep them coming in chat, all right? I know that I'm talking and I'm not stopped. I'll pause for questions in the end. So if you can click on the link, and it doesn't matter if it's 30, it's 100 and more. We've done this and we've done collaboration with several people. You can all collaborate live and you don't need Office 365. So technically, even if you don't have it, it'll open up in the browser for you and we can all collaborate on the link that's been sent in chat. So there you are. At present, what I can see is that it's a guest user. But obviously, if it's someone from my organization and if Adele can join in, you'll see I'll be able to see exactly where Adele comes in. For Google users or anyone using collaboration tools, you know what it is. So try changing things. Imagine changing a few of the details. Okay. So change a few things. But remember with Excel, and be that in Word, Excel, or PowerPoint, you have something known as version history. And the version history will show you any of the changes that have been modified against each one of the cells. So you can always go back to that version that I had modified an hour ago or a few days ago and retrieve the version. So there's no risk in losing data, as we call it. And you can be on any spreadsheet, but have live collaboration in there. Thank you for joining in. The next one, Microsoft Teams. Again, I know that few users for Teams, so a quick explanation with Teams, of course, you can make calls, you can have Teams sites, and within the site itself, you can have channels that can have posts, files that can be saved across for collaboration. And as what I've created a tab over here right at the top, and this can be used for collaboration internally as well as externally within the organization. So it depends on who you add in. But one of the cool features I like within Teams is something known as Microsoft Loop. So as an example, with Loop, I can have a bulleted checklist or a numbered list. And you can see here that Adele has already started this loop list for launch event planning. So she's going to edit items. And it's a live list that I can keep updating. But that's not all. What I can do is I can copy this over. I can go to my email. And with my new email, if I paste this around, it'll automatically get updated even in the email as we go along. So I can see Adele editing it in the email that is sent across, and it's now available for you across Word and PowerPoint as well. So imagine a table that needs to be constantly updated. Check out Microsoft Loop. It's one of my favorite new features, and we use it quite extensively. Another one, that's Loop. I'm just going to delete this particular loop list for now because and in here. Okay, so my next demo, sorry, I know I've gone quite fast. Recap, we did present live. You gave me lots of little hearts and thumbs up with that. We did Excel with flash fill, geography. You can check out the stocks and the other options there. We did Excel with live collaboration. We did Teams in terms of Microsoft Loop and showcased how Teams can work in terms of calls and more. We're now moving into the next case scenario for security. So just before I get into security, I'll show you something known as Power Automate. Now, many times you get information from different users. Sometimes it's information with attachments that need to be saved into a particular folder. And as is every user, it comes, you click on it, you save it. It takes just a couple of minutes of your time, and it's not much. But imagine 20 of your people doing the same activity 20 times a week. How much time is spent in that? Imagine automating that process. And with Microsoft Power Automate, it's no code or low code, and you have heaps of pre-made templates that you can use to automate your workflow. You can save your schoolwork, you can save Gmail attachments into a Dropbox folder. You can get daily reminders from emails. You can send an email when a new message is added into Teams, or you can send an email to a responder when a Microsoft form is submitted and it automatically updates. Some other favorite ones are send specific files created in a OneDrive folder as an email attachment. So if there's someone in your organization who's responsible for creating meeting minutes, as an example, he or she saves them into the OneDrive folder. But after she's saved, she's got to also send an email as an attachment to multiple board members. Imagine that the moment she puts it into the board folder, an email automatically goes out, saves a few minutes. And in the same way, imagine the amount of time as an organization that you could save by the use of Power Automate. There's heaps of templates in here, and you can also create your own flows. So if it's not something that's pre-built, build your own flow. So check Power Automate, and I'm sure Keisha and Valerie would be happy to help you even in terms of Power Automate solutions if required. So moving on, Outlook. Now I've got an email to Adele, and Adele's within my organization. I want her to buy some flowers for Alex's birthday, and I'm giving her my credit card number. But I haven't mentioned that it's a credit card. I've just put my number in. Now, the moment I click on send, it's blocked. Why? Because it includes one or more recipients who are not authorized to include the sensitive information. Now, this sensitive information could be credit card. It could be your NRIC number, it could be whatever you've listed in the back end. So I have to remove Adele and I can only send it to authorized people. So the email just won't go ahead. And here you've got policy tip, which tells you that it conflicts with a policy within your organization. And it tells you that Adele isn't authorized to receive this time of information. So I have to remove the recipient or add a different one. And view details about information that appears sensitive. So when I click on it, it'll tell me that you've got credit card number that's sensitive and can't go out. So this is where any kind of data prevention or data loss prevention can be predicted beforehand, because you will always have new people in the organization and there's always going to be some data leakage. So how do you as an organization prevent that? This is data loss prevention there. Now we're going to get into just 5 minutes of quick demos. These are pre-built. So the first one with Windows Hello, very simple demo. Basically, the moment I click on login, it automatically, there's this little eye that looks at you, it recognizes you and logs you in promptly. So there's the eye looking at me, and the moment it recognizes me, it will let me in, and there you are. This is fantastic when you especially use it in the mornings. Don't have to remember password, pins, nothing. Just open your, and remember, I've tried it, don't worry. I've tried it with multiple faces coming in front of it. It just does not work. It's quite secure. So take that out. Authenticator, especially when you're going to have multiple people with cloud using on different devices. And this is Pradeep's iPad, and he now wants to access some information on his iPad. But what he's got is that he's got approved sign-in. And the moment I approve, yes, it's done. It's confirmed my biometric and now has signed me into the device. And a notification is sent out to say that Pradeep did join in through this device with the IP address as to where it's gone. So there's security pre-built in. So that's your Authenticator app. 3, as a guest, you've all joined the Teams meeting. So I guess you've not had any difficulty, but a quick scenario. It doesn't matter if it's on Gmail. No one needs to have Teams. They can simply click on join the meeting. You can say that open Microsoft Teams. So I would cancel and I would say continue on this browser because I don't have Teams as an example. Allow, and there you are, the meeting starts. And remember, in the meeting, I can do the same collaboration as I was through my Outlook with Excel and PowerPoint and have a collaborative meeting within Teams using my features in there. My last one is going to be device wipe. So Pradeep, who was great with the security and everything, but has now lost his mobile phone, or let's say Lydia in my organization. I need to very quickly delete all the company or corporate data from her phone. So I'm going to do manage devices, mobile device management, because it was mobile phone. And there you are, Lydia's Android. It's been lost. So I'm just going to click on Lydia and state remove company data. I can and confirm the moment it's on the internet, anything that was company related will all be deleted. So that's just device wipe. Moving on. We're just in time. Alex is my boss. Okay, Adele reports to me, but Alex is my boss. And Alex has sent me an information which tells me it's about Tailspin Toys invoice. All right, I need to pay that invoice. Okay, I click on it and he's even given me a password. Okay, great. I go in, I copy the password over, paste it. And guess what? It's a hack, of course. So macros have been enabled, so I can enable the content, but the attack scenario is completed and my computer has been attacked. So press any key to close. Now, what we're going to look at is that I've got this experience. My computer is attacked, but it's not just my PC that's been attacked, right? It could now affect anything within your organization. So as soon as this attack began, Microsoft Defender for Business triggered alerting your IT admin to this activity. It has also tracked everything that has happened on the system. And we can now take a very quick look at the IT admin center. So this is what the back end of IT admin looks, and Defend, it's really, so you have a secure score and it'll tell you how secure your organization is. If it's not secure, it'll give you steps, literally step by step, to tell you how can you get your security score up? I think this is fantastic. The other part is it also gives you a comparison against other organizations similar in your size and what their security score could be. So incidents. Okay, there was a suspicious PowerShell activity. As soon as the attack began, Defender created an incident report. So I'm going to click on it. It's told me what time did the first activity begin, when did it end, who was impacted. It was Megan's PC, what happened. And I can click on and see the graph of the PC being attacked. There were 2 attacked, 2 processes that were created, and it'll give you a graphical view. It also tells you to open an alert page and will tell you about every single script that was run. The alert story steps through the incident moment by moment. So you can see it's by 09, 010, literally second by second, and can tell you till the exit of the command prompt. In the blade on the right, the IT admin can manage the alert and see exactly what has happened with detailed recommendation on how it could be prevented. So detailed alert description detailing what happened and what could happen in the future is all in there. So there you are. It was Megan's PC and what could be. And finally, if the same incident is happening anywhere else in the organization or company, the IT admin can see how many devices were affected or how many users were affected. It could be Megan, Alex, and Adele. It could be 3 different users. They all thought they were individual, but it could be an overall organization attack, right? So far, IT admin can rest because it was only 1 device and 1 user, and it's been isolated, and there's nothing further to be done. So there you are. This was with Alex Weber, very easy to track, something that can be easily clicked on, especially through your mobile phone. I mean, now on a bigger screen, you might be able to read and say that, okay, it's an attack and I'm not going to click on it, right? A very quick view at the backend IT admin for Microsoft 365. This is the this is the admin center. And remember that you've got these features such as security, compliance that open up and have inbuilt. So you've got all the details about security pre-built in and step-by-step guidance for your IT administrators to set up policies and more. And of course, as a partner, your partner will be able to help you even more on how to get to Defender and how to use Defender. So there you are, the deployment health, your secure score, what's the insider risk management, and you've got a whole range of menus available to you on your left-hand side. A very bad security score with 20. I think I need to improve my security score. So with that, I would like to just bring back to my presentation. So what we've seen right now is that Microsoft 365 can help businesses stay connected, secure. And of course, what you're looking for is cost-effective and easy to use solution. Microsoft cost-saving areas. How does it save costs? Allows for consolidation of vendor licenses. It reduces exposure to security risks. There are IT savings because IT personnel can focus on other tasks. Deployment is super easy and provides an opportunity for reallocation of physical and travel costs. So with that, if you'd like to hear more about whether it's Business Basic, Business Standard, or Business Premium, please contact Keisha or Valerie. And I'd like to hand over back to Keisha and Valerie. Thank you.
Thank you. Turning on my camera. Thank you, Swapna. I think that was a very interesting and also very, very interactive session. I certainly learned a lot myself from Swapna, you know, the parts about Google Excel using geography. That was the first time I've actually come across it. And also the bits about security. I think security is something that is, especially in companies who have been using Microsoft Office for quite some time, you know, security sometimes get put in the back burner a little bit because, you know, you're just trying to get through your day, you know. So very interesting points. I hope the attendees did enjoy the session as well. Anyone has any questions? If you do, feel free to just drop them in the chat. If Swapna is still here, Valerie, myself are still here, we can attend to any questions. There is a feedback form in the chat box. If you can just help us to, it's on the screen as well. So if you have a QR scanner, just scan in the QR code, or click the link in the chat if you're not able to scan the QR code for your feedback. Of course, we'll also like to know how we can improve and share more useful content with you in future. If you're interested in the different softwares that Swapna shared, do let me know. I'll help you to take a look at your current existing license and whether you have those solutions already as part of your package. Otherwise, how to move on from there. And one more thing I'd like to also share is that if you're interested in getting a free trial, for if let's say if you're using business standard now and you like to get a free trial of business premium, do reach out to me as well. I'll be able to help you with that. Okay. So yeah, we've come to the end of the session. Again, thank you all so much for your time. Thank you to Swapna for the very interesting session, for Valerie to help, and also thank you to Valerie for helping to put this together. Of course, this session could not have been possible without all of our awesome attendees for coming on time and staying all the way until the end. So yeah, good to see all of you. Okay, I also did make a recording of this session, so I'll be sending out the recording for you to refer in case, you know, there were bits that you want to go back over again. In the meanwhile, if you need anything, you can contact me through the email from this invitation. Okay, so with that, thank you so much, and hope to see you guys at our next training sometime soon.
Thank you, Valerie and Keisha, and thank you, everyone. Drop us questions. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.